Between films like Superman, Sinners, Final Destination Bloodlines, and now Weapons, Warner Brothers is having a banger of a year at the box office. I'd like to examine, however, one of their earlier successes of the year. Let's talk about a Minecraft movie and whether or not the pile of money it made is actually a good indicator for the industry at large. I feel like removed from the actual height of its mania, maybe we can have a little bit more of an objective discussion about the quality of the film, perhaps. Also, hello, welcome to the channel. My name is Sean Morgan, and I love movies. I love video games too. And I never played Minecraft growing up, but I was excited for a younger generation to see something important to them get a big and cool theatrical adaptation, a big budget movie. And that finally happened. The Minecraft movie landed in theaters, a Minecraft movie, I should say, and it dragged along with it the weight of adapting the world's most popular video game, or one of them, in an era where studios lean on recognizable IP to stay afloat. It's no surprise that Warner Brothers saw cinematic potential in Mojang's Juggernaut. And to its credit, the film definitely paid off in one critical sense, the aforementioned box office. Minecraft opened very strong, offering a much needed injection of revenue for an industry that is still recovering from uneven post pandemic performances across the board. But while its financial success will keep the franchise conversation alive and will certainly keep many executives happy, the actual film underneath the hype is, in my opinion, a far murkier picture. It didn't really satisfy me personally in any real way. The truth, I think that a Minecraft movie barely works as a complete narrative. Worse still, for a property whose visual identity is both pretty iconic and also beloved by its fan base, I think the movie's look is frankly kind of ugly. Adapting Minecraft into a film was always going to be a Herculean task, right? This isn't really The Last of Us or Tomb Raider, or even something like the various Mario games with sort of baked in storylines. Even something in Mario, it's, save the princess, defeat the king. Um, Minecraft doesn't have that to the same degree. It thrives on player agency, on creative freedom to build and explore without explicit narrative rails. Translating that into a coherent movie, it inevitably meant imposing a structure on a fundamentally structureless, for the most part, experience. That being, the playing of the actual Minecraft video game. And unfortunately, the structure that they've imposed, it feels like it was cobbled together out of some mismatched sort of pieces, which is ironic given the game's emphasis on craftsmanship, right? The core plot here revolves around a young adventurer in our real world who discovers the world of Minecraft, a literal, portal to the world of Minecraft. He teams up with a ragtag crew of misfits, each embodying familiar player or familiar movie archetypes. From the eager builder in our hero, we have that kind of archetype. We have the sort of fearless but arrogant fighter in Jason Momoa's sort of washed up character. They all embark on a quest that hops between biomes and various, locales, dungeons, mansions, etc. On paper, that sounds like a sensible starting point, right? The problem is execution, I think. The film leans heavily on a generic sort of save the world formula that we've seen countless times before in animated family adventures. Moments that should feel playful and imaginative instead play like kind of just a rushed greatest hits reel of in-game references. And yeah, the kind of bad guy realm is cool to see. It's intimidating, I guess, for a kids film. You get to see creepers, skeletons, pigs, all of those guys are there. But these various like inclusions and Easter eggs can sometimes feel like a checklist of obligations rather than organic elements of a story worth caring about. Take these opinions with a grain of salt. Like I said, I never really played the game very much growing up. I know the touchstones through cultural osmosis, but never really emotionally attached to any of the various Minecraft creatures or weapons or lore or Easter eggs outside of things like, I don't know, Super Smash Brothers. Steve is in Super Smash Brothers, so I know that kind of thing. And I digress. I think that much of the film's emotional weight depends on the relationship between the various crew members, but the problem is that these characters rarely transcend their archetypes. Jason Momoa, for example, he tries his best with a sort of washed up old school gamer type who is brash and full of this faux confidence. um, Jack Black is here, of course. He is Steve, as the memes say. He's doing sort of the most watered down versions of his usual Jack Black family star bits. He's singing silly songs, he's pronouncing words very ridiculously. It's to be expected. I like Jack Black, but this isn't really him at his best comedically. The two women on the team are sidelined for a big chunk of the movie. They're given very little to do. I don't really understand where that decision necessarily came in. None of the actors are necessarily weak links. Like, they're all fine, but everyone here is working with mere wisps of material when it comes to the actual script. The writing feels very uninspired. And now let's address maybe another significant elephant in the room: the look of the movie. Minecraft, the video game, is an inherently stylized game, right? It's defined by pixelated charm, deliberately low res textures. And leaning into that aesthetic could have resulted in something pretty striking, I think. An animated film, perhaps, that celebrates the simplicity of the source material in terms of the visuals. Instead, what we get is this awkward hybrid of animation and live action, creating visuals that live in an uncanny valley between exciting cartoon and typical Hollywood CGI slop. I wouldn't say it's the worst thing I've ever seen in terms of visuals, but it seems not to be trying very hard for what turned out to be a major tentpole film. It's a baffling decision because fidelity to the original aesthetic might have made Minecraft stand out in a crowded animation landscape had they gone with a fully animated picture. Instead, the movie looks generic at best and outright ugly at worst. Jack Black is no stranger either to voice work. He's done several very successful Kung Fu Panda films over at DreamWorks, so I don't understand why insistence on making things sort of live action and sort of not live action throughout this film. I don't understand where that decision came in. Clearly, it paid off, so who am I to say? Paid off financially, I should say. But to avoid sounding like a total killjoy, it is worth acknowledging that Minecraft is not devoid of any charm. The game's serene, sort of ambient soundtrack is lovely. I enjoyed hearing it, blare through big Dolby speakers in the theater. And likewise, the film clearly sprinkles in clever nods to the sandbox experience of the game. There are little Easter eggs that I'm sure longtime fans of the game will appreciate. I could recognize certain moments in the film as clear Easter eggs that maybe I just didn't understand, but that other crowd members around me clearly loved. As someone who I watch and enjoy various comic book movies and other IP adjacent stuff and can get down with fun Easter eggs. I won't begrudge people who see the Minecraft Easter eggs here in this movie and, lose their mind with joy. More power to you. There is also something admirable about a handful of the more bizarre jokes that are in the movie. For brief stretches, the film does embrace its own absurdity and delivers some high quality goofs. Um, I liked, for example, the main antagonist continually trying to fake out Jack Black's character with a hidden dagger that is very obvious to our hero. That made me giggle a little bit. And I also enjoyed the kind of pathetic and clingy storage war guy played by Jermaine Clement. He made me laugh, even though he has literally nothing to do with the video games, as far as I know. Um, and of course, there's also this undeniable cultural footprint that Minecraft, the brand, has. Watching this film in a packed theater filled with folks in, creeper hoodies or people humming the familiar game music, it's clear that the movie did succeed in one crucial respect, drawing in audiences. I may not always get it, but you do have to give the people what they want to a degree. I love artsy films from serious filmmakers, but those by their nature have less mainstream appeal, right? And they won't keep the industry afloat on their own. So here's where I have to give Minecraft some credit beyond the screen. In a marketplace where original films and original animated films, they often struggle to find an audience, where even reliable franchises, frankly, have been stumbling here and there. A Minecraft movie, it proved to be a safe bet for pretty much everybody involved. Its strong box office return, it's a reminder that theatrical exhibition is not dead, and that video game adaptations or adaptations of other stuff, when marketed well, they can still fill the seats. Every 6 months or so, everyone has the "is movie going dead" conversation, and every so often a movie like this comes along that proves no, no, it's really not. And this really matters. It matters to me because Hollywood is in a precarious moment. Rising production costs, shrinking home video revenue, of course, and the ongoing tug of war between streaming and theatrical releases. It's left many wondering if the traditional blockbuster model can survive on a longer timeline. And in that context, a Minecraft movie is more than just a film. It's kind of a case study in IP economics, if you're interested in that. The movie's financial success will likely greenlight more game based projects and keep the gears turning for family entertainment in theaters. So, yes, I am glad at the end of the day that a Minecraft movie gave the industry overall a win. I'm glad kids are excited about going to the movies again, and that theaters got a boost from something other than superheroes or sequels. We've got to diversify the palette there a little bit. But, does that make the film itself good? Not really, in my opinion. And I don't mean to sound like a wet blanket. I just didn't think it was quite I just think it was a good movie. Sorry, I don't know. Minecraft the game is about freedom, the joy of discovery, the satisfaction of building something that is uniquely yours as the player. And a Minecraft movie is about as far from that ethos as you can get. It's very rigid. It's a by the numbers adventure that mistakes brand familiarity for storytelling. The characters are kind of forgettable. The humor is mostly pretty forced, and the visuals are subpar. They try to make the main child protagonist's whole deal revolve around creativity and belonging and crafting and imagination, but it didn't totally click for me. Nothing about the film really clicked for me, and I wish I could say otherwise because so many people clearly had such a strong positive reaction to the movie. I don't begrudge the film's existence, and I won't deny that younger audiences clearly had a blast seeing creepers on the big screen over and over again, and they deserve to have that experience. Not to mention the enjoyment that all of the memes brought people. But for anyone hoping for a bold, inventive adaptation, a Minecraft movie is more dirt block than diamond. And at the end of the day, like I said, I'm relieved it gave theaters a boost. That's something worth celebrating. As a movie, though, I think it barely earns a passing grade, and that's a real shame. So, on my scale of A list, A amazing, average, abysmal, and needs to be abolished, I'm going to be giving the Minecraft movie, a rating at the higher end of abysmal. It's maybe like a 4 out of 10. That feels mean, I know, but I really failed to connect with it. And again, it didn't really offend me in terms of quality or get under my skin, I guess. But part of me does resent that studios may learn bad lessons here and just pump out IP films that are more reference and fan service than compelling narrative. Here's hoping that my fears do not come true, though. Um, we'll see. I saved $20.99 on this ticket by using AMC A List at my local Dolby Theater. This is back when the movie came out. And I say this not because I'm sponsored by A List, but because I plan to tally up my savings at the end of the year to see if A List is actually worth it. I expect it to be, but we'll see what the actual numbers are. But thank you so much for watching this video. Did you see a Minecraft movie? It seems like most people did. If you saw it, what did you think of it? What's your favorite video game movie? Actually, that's another good question. I think they've been getting better and better over the years. I like all of the Sonic the Hedgehog movies. I liked the Mario movie. Um, I even have a soft spot for all of the Mortal Kombat movies. So, I don't know. I don't know if I could pick a favorite though. Um, and as far as Minecraft goes, I'm also curious, does me never really sitting down to fully play the game mean that I'm missing like a key piece that would make me love the film where others clearly loved it? I want to hear from diehard fans maybe who can respectfully disagree with me and provide different points of view. Feel free to comment below on any of those topics or anything else that's on your mind. I try to respond to everyone within reason. Not that I get tons and tons of comments at this stage, obviously, but um, you know, I still like having those conversations. Feel free also, of course, to like this video and or subscribe to this channel if you want more thoughts on major films as we head into fall and as we head into award season. It's looking kind of exciting, kind of strange, but kind of exciting. But thanks again. Stay safe, and I appreciate you taking some time to watch this video. Until next time, please remember, don't dig straight down. See? I know some Minecraft stuff. You thought I didn't, but I know that you're not supposed to dig straight down. All right. Bye.